Okay, I'm going to do another thought experiment. Now, fair warning, I'm kind of going to do the thinking for you, but I, if I don't convince you by the end of this video, then you still have some thinking to do yourself. So, let's give you an example to start. Okay, let's say you're a Trump supporter. You're an avid Trump supporter. You're devoted. You want to see him win in 2024. So, what are you going to do? Well, maybe you support his campaign. Maybe you donate to the campaign. Maybe you campaign for him yourself. Maybe you try to debate other people and convince people to vote for Trump. Maybe you buy the merchandise to advertise for Trump. Okay, but ultimately, you're going to vote for Trump in 2024, right? And if I asked you, as this avid Trump supporter, and if I asked you, what are the chances that you go into that voting booth and you vote for Trump? The chances are nearly 100%, right? The odds that you're going to vote for somebody else are very low if Trump is the number one guy, if he's your number one choice. So now, let's say that you see a poll, okay, and that poll has a statistic that says 50% of people are going to vote for Biden and 50% of people are going to vote for Trump. What are the odds that you vote for Biden after you learn about that poll? What are the odds that you don't vote for Trump now? Are they 50% or are you still going to vote for Trump? Are the odds that you vote for Trump still 100%? Obviously, you're still going to vote for Trump, okay? This poll isn't going to change your mind. You're not going to apply the statistics of this poll to you because you already have your mind made up. In simple terms, you already have your mind made up. You know what you're going to do. You are conscious of what you're going to do in that voting booth. You're going to vote for Trump. So despite the fact that 50% of people say they're going to vote for Biden, you're going to vote for Trump regardless, right? Now, let's give you another example. Let's say that you see a statistic that says 95% of people fail diets. Okay, so what that means is 95% of people who go on a diet, they either fail to lose weight or they lose weight and gain it back, right? And this is actually a real statistic. Now, I'm not actually certain about the exact figure, but that figure floats around. It's that only 1 out of 20 people succeed at losing weight long term when they go on a diet. Now, what are the odds that you fail to diet? Are the odds 95%? Or are the odds that you succeed 100%? Well, let's think about this. Think about the difference between that Trump versus Biden scenario and that Trump versus Biden poll, that statistic, and this diet statistic. If you believe you're going to vote for Trump, you're going to vote for Trump and you're going to disregard the poll. Why is it any different for this other statistic? If you believe you're going to lose weight, but the poll says otherwise, the poll says you'll probably fail. Are you going to fail or are you going to succeed? The point here is to kind of highlight free will, okay? And that's what it is at the end of the day. It's, do you believe you're going to achieve your goal or do you not? Okay, so this isn't, again, this thought experiment is not about Trump and Biden. It's not about diet. It's about perception, and it's about applying what happened. It's about applying a statistic to yourself, okay? Do you believe you are subject to a statistic that measured past behavior, or are you going to rise above it? And are you going to do whatever the hell you can to become whatever it is you want to become? If you want to become a millionaire and you look at the statistics and only 1 out of 100 people is a millionaire, does that mean there's a 99% chance you're not going to become a millionaire? No, it doesn't. It means that in the past, only 1 in 100 people became a millionaire. You cannot use past behavior to predict future behavior. There's this thing in psychology where people say that past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior. That's only if you believe that past behavior applies to you, or if it's only if you believe the statistic applies to you. If you believe otherwise, then you're going to behave in a manner that manifests that 1%. right? You're gonna manifest that vote for Trump. You're gonna manifest dietary success or whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be anything in particular, okay? I'm not trying to tell you you need to lose weight. I'm not trying to tell you need to vote for Trump. Trust me. I'm not trying to tell you you need to be a millionaire. I'm trying to tell you that you can do whatever the hell you want. You do not have to be bound to some statistic because you were taught to be a slave to statistics. You don't have to give up on your dreams because you don't think, because people failed in the past at achieving those dreams. I'm here to tell you that the reason people fail to achieve their dreams is because they don't believe they can achieve their dreams. If you don't understand this concept, then you're going to fail to achieve your dreams. And it's about free will. It's ultimately, what are you going to do? Are you going to achieve your dreams, or are you going to give up on them and do something and settle? You're going to settle and live your potentially your only life doing whatever it is society trained you to do, rather than training yourself to go after your dreams. So, let's give you another scenario. Let's say that 100% of the people that jump off of a 100-story building die. That's probably pretty accurate if I had to guess, right? Now, does that mean that I believe you can go jump off a 100-story building and live if you believe you can live? I'm not so sure, right? But what's the difference between this scenario, the building scenario, and the diet scenario? Well, the difference is that we have a hell of a lot more control over what food goes into our mouths than we do over gravity, right? Checks out. We have a hell of a lot more control over who we vote for than gravity, right? So that's the difference I'm trying to highlight here, is that you have control over yourself. Now, there are certain forces like gravity that control you in certain ways, but ultimately you have free will. And if you dismiss your free will and decide to, you decide to go into that poll, you go into the voting booth and you decide to effectively put a blindfold on and perhaps vote for Biden by accident, well, I mean, what can I say? You're giving up your free will. You have to understand that, like, these statistics, when you look at a statistic and you apply it to yourself, what you're doing is you're applying other people's past behavior, and you're applying it to yourself in the future. But that's not logically valid, because the truth is that past behavior does not predict future behavior. If past behavior predicted future behavior, then nothing could change. Nothing could change. The world would be bound to certain patterns. But that's not how it works. Your life, in reality, nothing could change at all. There would be nothing. If past behavior predicted future behavior, we would be able to predict the future. But we can't. The polls, to provide an example of that, Trump was at the bottom of the Republican primaries when he first entered the race in 2016, late 2015, right? And he ended up winning the election in 2016, right? So if the polls were correct in 2015 in the Republican primaries, that would mean that he couldn't have possibly won, right? But what happened? Well, things changed. Trump ran a great campaign and destroyed everybody else in the Republican primary, right? That's what happened. Things changed. And I don't know how else to say it. You have to understand that this past behavior is only proof of that past behavior. All it is an observation of that past behavior. It's not like when people fail diets, it's not a causative relationship. It doesn't mean that just because 95% of people try diets, that 95% of people fail diets. It's not that trying the diet causes you to fail the diet. It's that trying the diet caused this very select group of people in this statistic, in this study, to fail the diet. Things change, and if you don't believe people can change, if you don't believe you can change, if you don't believe that you can beat the statistic, then you're going to become part of the statistic. So just trying to empower you a little bit. And I'm not saying that the person that's listening to this right now needs help from me, but people do need help. I know people out there who are in a victim mindset. They don't believe in themselves. And when you don't believe in yourself, you believe in the statistics. That's ultimately what it means. You believe you are a victim to the world around you. But I promise you, it doesn't have to be that way. You can take control of yourself. You can become the creator of your own reality. You can manifest your dreams if you believe that you can manifest them. The thing is when you go and vote for Trump, it's one step, right? That's a pretty easy thing to do. All it requires is 15 minutes of your time. But when you want to lose weight, for example, that requires a lot of dedication, right? It requires a lot of discipline for months on end, right? Perhaps, or in theory, for life, right? If you're going to keep the weight off, you have to make a lifestyle change. You can't just go on a temporary diet. So what's the difference between supporting Trump and succeeding in that diet? Well, if you're the person who's campaigning for Trump, you're spending your hard-earned dollars on his campaign, you're buying the merchandise, you're supporting him vocally. What's the difference between all that effort that goes into supporting Trump and the campaign and all the effort that it takes into succeeding in a diet? There's really not a difference. All it is effort. All it is determination of a particular goal. So you have to believe that you can achieve that goal. If you don't believe you can achieve that goal, if you're not conscious day in, day out of the steps it takes to achieve that goal, you're not going to achieve it. You're going to fail. You have to feel the emotions of that goal, of the achievement of that goal, and those emotions will drive you to the behaviors that make you achieve that goal. There's a lot of new age spirituality stuff around manifestation, and a lot of people want to, they'll point to a god or they'll point to a religion, right? I don't know if it's any of that. I don't know if those gods and religions are correct. I can't tell you. But what I do know is that if you believe you can achieve something, if you feel the feeling of achieving it, try to imagine what it feels like to achieve that goal. What's going to happen is your body, your brain, your mind, your heart, it's all going to work in sync. And it's going to create a path for you by which you can achieve that goal. And on the other hand, if you don't believe you can achieve it, then you're just going to go off the rails. You're just going to go in some other direction. You're going to go down some path that doesn't actually lead to happiness. And I listen to a lot of my people, I'll say, that like raised me, my role models per se. A lot of them, like any other kid, they say, oh, you can go after your dreams, but have a backup plan, play it safe. And for me, it was, go get your college degree. I went to college, and then one day I decided, fuck it. I walked out in the middle of a test and never went back. It was the most enlightening feeling I've ever had in my life, was saying fuck you to the social conditioning I'd been ingrained with. And that's ultimately what it is. It's like the people who tell you you can't achieve your dreams, those are the people who conditioned you. They were the people who were conditioned themselves. And they don't realize it because they never broke out of it themselves. If you talk to anyone, if you talk to people who achieved big things in their lives, or even people who are just happy, didn't achieve anything necessarily groundbreaking for humanity, but just groundbreaking for themselves, talk to those people and they'll tell you how they did it. And they didn't do it by listening to society's social conditioning. They did it by following their intuition. And I know for a fact that if you're sitting here telling yourself that you can't achieve a diet, that's not your intuition telling you that. That is someone else's social conditioning that was ingrained into you because perhaps they were defeated themselves. They felt like they were victims themselves, and they needed to expand their own victim mentality to you, because that was the only way. That's the only thing they knew. That's the only thing they knew in life. That was the only path they ever understood. It doesn't have to be that way. I want, again, this video is just, it's a thought experiment in a way, and it's kind of just to try to empower you to not become a victim of beliefs. Become in control the beliefs. And if you control the beliefs, you become the one in control. You become you remove the victim from yourself, and you become the controller. Doesn't mean you have to control other people. It means you have to control yourself. And if we all control ourselves, then this world would be a hell of a lot better. You know it, I know it. We just need to believe what we can do collectively. And that's the point of this video. It's the point of all my YouTube videos. Just trying to teach you, give you a different point of view with which to think about reality. Because if you feel like you're under someone's thumb, whether it's your employer or your parents or the government, it's not going to lead to long-term happiness for you. And until you break out of that mentality, you're never gonna reach happiness. You're gonna continue to be stressed out your whole life. If you're a person that's depressed or anxious, instead of looking at that depression and anxiety as something that's wrong with you, look at it as if it's a warning sign that the societal structures you're listening to that are guiding you are fucked up. Because I promise you, that's the truth. That's what depression is. Depression is not something wrong in your brain. It's something wrong with the environment you live in. And by trying to fit into that environment, that problem extends to your brain. What you need to do instead is follow your intuition. Don't follow the social conditioning unless you feel like it's right. I'm not saying it's all terrible. There's a lot of good people out there who are trying to help you, help themselves, and help the world. And you can become one of them. All you have to do is believe that you can. Thanks for watching.